since I was a jit. Ever since I blew, they all on my hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got choked, long. Say I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my 50. Ex slick, then hit with the back then, used to out the zip. Blood. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we back up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Down from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and ain't my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. I'm with the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top on the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. I'm with the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Not a day in my life. Lost my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no, we gon' hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Lost my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in them. I ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the exciting second-year quarterback Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens as they match up with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. With that, let's get up to Buffalo. Standing by at New Era Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, winter is just around the corner as you get a look at New Era Field, just south of Buffalo, New York. The folks in Buffalo love their Bills, and a moment ago they entered to the delight of this sold-out crowd. They're set for football as their Bills will do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
The Bills' Stephen Hauschka's got this one teed up, and off we go from New Era Field. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Lamar Jackson bringing out the Baltimore Ravens off of a big win last weekend against San Francisco. You think back to when Jackson took over the starting spot towards the end of last year, Charles. He's 16-3 as Baltimore's starter. Not a great day throwing the football last weekend against San Fran because of the weather, but he was really good running it.
He certainly was. 101 yards and a touchdown, and really had all eyes on him the entire game. And despite that, still ran for over 100 yards. He is absolutely incredible. He's up to 977 yards rushing for the year. So that moved him past Bobby Douglas for second most in a season by a quarterback. And he's closing in on the record holder, Michael Vick, 1,039 yards. I think by projections, he's supposed to get over 1,200 yards before the year is out. What a season for Lamar Jackson. And they're headed towards another divisional crown, one that they won last year.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Check.
To throw is Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. It's hard to know who's more dynamic between quarterback Lamar Jackson and that man Hollywood Brown. But they're just going to try to get the ball in Brown's hands early and often like they did there and see what he can produce. So many folks in Baltimore excited about this young pup, and for good reason. The rookie first-rounder out of Oklahoma is explosive. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively,
got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson. It's complete to Snead. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. He may try and run for this. Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And he's got a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 30.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 30-yard line. Jackson going to get this out to Brown. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. And we take a look at the Bills' defense.
Throw the ball at your own peril when Jordan Poyer is in the lineup. In the last 2 seasons, he's been in the top 10 in interceptions both years and 2nd on the team in tackles in 2018. An all-around terrific center field type of a safety.
They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Ed Oliver with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Justin Tucker now for the Raven field goal try. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bills now under third-year man Sean McDermott, bringing them out the second-year quarterback from Wyoming, Josh Allen. And after the 2018 draft, what everybody knew was that Allen had great arm strength, but what folks discovered in his rookie season is how good of a runner he is. He finished second only to Lamar Jackson in rushing by a quarterback with 631 yards total and had an NFL record 3-game stretch where he was over 95 yards. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Allen to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. Now let's take a look here at the Bills offense.
And every time I spotlight Frank Gore, who turned 36, and man, I feel worse about myself. Fantastic physical condition, a 5-time Pro Bowler, and one of the top runners in NFL history.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Allen off the bootleg. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Jalen Ferguson, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down. And you make the home crowd go, shh.
There is a hush indeed. The Bills send the punter out. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore taking the field again here, and as we mentioned earlier, getting the win over San Fran this past week to get to 10-2. That's now 8 straight victories for the Ravens. That's a new franchise record. And you mentioned that they are going to have their, in all likelihood, their 2nd consecutive division crown in the AFC North. Last year, they barely got it at the end of the season. They've got a full 3-game lead this year.
Yeah, they could cruise to the title. It won't be easy because they have to go to Buffalo next. And Buffalo has to have that game in order to keep pace in the wild card race, and they're playing pretty well. But then after that, they're home against the
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
Football going back to the Buffalo Bills. And, Charles, these Bills are 9-3 now, 3 straight wins. This last week, the victory over the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, maybe their first real showcase in front of a national audience. A lot of folks getting their first look at these Bills. Are they getting the respect that they deserve for a 9-3 team?
Well, I think most people went into that game on Thanksgiving Day and said, hold it a second. They've beaten the Jets, the Giants, the Bengals, the Titans, the Dolphins, Washington, the Dolphins again, Denver, and then they finally beat the Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys' record is nothing to write home about, but they are the Dallas Cowboys. It was Thanksgiving Day. National audience, and they beat them down. I think they're getting respect now because of who they beat and in the situation that they handled it. Look out for this Bills team. A huge game coming up because they host the red-hot Baltimore Ravens this week.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now a draw play for Gore. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Got an open man. It's Foster. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. As far as undrafted players go, Philip Lindsay took most of the headlines a season ago. But remember, Robert Foster was undrafted out of Alabama as well, signed with the Bills in May of 2018 and had a pretty good year. 27 catches, 541 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A run right side. It's Gore. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. The starters now defensively for Baltimore.
Let's go to the middle of the Baltimore defense where Brandon Williams holds court. And we often talk about how difficult it is to stop a big-time runner. How about trying to stop a big-time guy in the middle who wreaks havoc both with pass rush and against the run? Brandon Williams went to his first Pro Bowl at the end of the 2018 season.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. This is the 3rd-round pick out of FAU, Devin Singletary. And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens' 22.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
48 months. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gore. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
So off goes Allen, and on comes Stephen Hauschka for the Buffalo field goal. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the Bills are going to tie the game at 3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. This will be fielded at the 8. And an alley to run. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. That a 92-yard kick return. And the Ravens have taken the lead. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. So he fielded the kick at the 8 and never looked back. A great return all the way to the end zone. 92 yards all told. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Singletary to get the drive started. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Back to the ground, this time with Gore. And he'll get this only up to about the 35.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And he's going to have the connection to Foster. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
40 down, 80. I got one.
Now a delayed give to Gore. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Gore. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Now on second down, this is Gore. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Bills on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Watch 36. 36 to Mike.
From the gun, it's Allen. They'll roll him out right. He can run for it, and he will. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the first on the scramble. That's a prime example of how Josh Allen can hurt a defense. You remember back to his rookie season a year ago, 631 rushing yards, second only to Lamar Jackson. Also had 8 rushing touchdowns. He is a dual-threat QB. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On play action, Allen. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Jackson and the offense come up 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Out to Roberts here on the quick pass. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson eluding the pressure right. He'll run it. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago.
Now those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Jackson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Well, partner, Thanksgiving in the rearview mirror, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all gone. And now if you look at the top 4 seeds right now as we hit, is it the quarter pole or the three-quarter pole?
It is the quarter pole, and we get to thank our NFL reporter, Randy Moss, who also has a great background in the sport of kings, for letting us know that's one of the most misused terms in that sport. It is the quarter pole, right? What are they headed for the home stretch, is what he also said about it. I can't wait to see how this thing ends.
Well, we got New England and Baltimore, the top 2 seeds in the AFC, Seattle and New Orleans in the NFC. You think it stays that way at the end?
I think it's going to be a heck of a battle. I think Baltimore, yes. New England's going to get a battle from Buffalo, but I think they're going to stay in the spot. Seattle, they're going to battle San Francisco. They're just going to trade it back and forth, and it's going to come down to Week 17, I believe, to decide that one. And New Orleans, yes, they will retain a top 2 spot.
And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 42. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 42-yard line. On the counter, Ingram. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run from the pistol with Ingram. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now it's Jackson, and he's got Snead. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 20-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Jackson now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 2nd down now, it's Ingram. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That one a first down pickup of 8.
The running game's played a huge part in getting them down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brung you.
Ready? 49, guys. Mike, 49. Yo.
They'll run here with Ingram. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That really sets them back, a loss of 6. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14.
Come on out here. Come get some.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. His throw incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. But now it's 3rd and goal. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Jackson rolling to his right. He may try and run for this. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So you're a boxing guy. How do you score that on your boxing card? A very long drive, but 3 points.
And I really want to do my boxing analyst voice right here, but I'm going to keep it normal for us, right? I call it a draw. That type of a drive has to feel good, right? You take it all the way downfield, you control the ball, control the clock. But they only got 3 points out of it. So defensively, it could have been worse, right? So I give it a draw.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start the drive here with Gore. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And he's been busy with his feet. He's been quite the scrambling man.
And obviously that can break down a defense. But a lot of it is just that they just get trapped with worrying about it so much that other things break down as well. You know, you break the huddle, and you're not just playing what comes out at you. You're like, oh, God, don't let him outside of the pocket. Don't let him beat us with his legs. And then he starts to beat you other ways.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
Writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw is Jackson. Going to throw again. He uncorks it for a fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. And I never played quarterback, but I'm thinking as a quarterback, you're a little bit into the game now. Second quarter, you're losing. You're not playing well. Probably feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Certainly does, but it's something that quarterbacks have to be used to because they're always carrying around that weight. So how do they adjust the weight? How do they make it work for them? How do they work against it? That's what we're going to find out going forward.
Yeah, he'll be trying to get all that weight off his shoulders here on this drive.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
So after the INT, it's Allen. That is incomplete. CD, while we have a quick second here, I want to give a shout-out to 3 teams who have struggled mightily this year who all got wins in Week 12. The Dolphins, the Redskins, and for their first win of the season, the Bengals.
How about you? I love your empathy, right? You hate to see teams struggle like this. Hate to see teams that are down. And when they get wins, you come with a little bounce, don't you? You got a little extra spring in your step. Those Bengals, and they beat the Jets, who at the time were hot, right? They won 3 in a row. How about Washington? That win over Carolina. And then, of course, the Dolphins. No one really saw that coming. Their win over Philadelphia, even though it was at home. Could those wins for those teams be the death knell for the teams that lost? The Jets, we're not going to talk about them anymore. Carolina, they still thought maybe a late run could put them in the playoff race in the NFC South. And then how about Philadelphia? But they're not out of it.
No.
They still control their destiny. If they win out, they go 9-7 and win the NFC East.
Yeah, because they're just one game back of 6-6 Dallas. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Allen again. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Allen hit. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. The Bills send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here's Thomas. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. On second down, Ingram. Give him 4 yards there, and that should be the final play of this first half. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now this one complete to Robert Foster, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Allen going to throw. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Snead's got it. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
They'll come out in the pistol. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now it's Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Andrews there to make the grab. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And here come the Bills. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Matt Judon able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. This is a draw play. Allen gives to Singletary. He digs them partway out of the hole that they're in. It's an 8-yard gain, and it makes it 3rd and 12.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Come on, watch 10, watch 10. Single.
Operating from the gun, Allen. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will. And he slides to avoid the hit. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this one? Both of these guys running the ball well.
Yeah, they've mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example right there of just good mobility.
Line 36. Hey, come on,
And here's carry number 10 for Frank Gore. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now Gore. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Gore. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Patrick Onwuasor up to make the tackle.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On 2nd down, Gore. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right.
From the gun, Allen. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And that will close the gap down to 14. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays, yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. And now he's going to use his legs. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he'll be taken down at the 26. 39 yards there, a big one.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him. And he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he'll pull it down. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson got a man. It's Brown. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Gore. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Another carry now for Gore. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And here's Allen operating from the gun. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. Here's another failure right there on 3rd down.
The Bills send the punter out. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Returnable for Thomas. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts, and that'll bring up 2nd down. CD, with that incompletion, let's look at some of the big games week 13. So these are ones that our crew probably think of the biggest 4. Let's rank them 1 to 4 as far as how big they are and what they mean. Baltimore at Buffalo, San Fran at New Orleans, KC at New England, Seattle at the Rams. How would you rank those? What do you think?
Well, this is going to sound self-serving since I'm working San Francisco and New Orleans, but to me that's the number 1 game because the number 1 seed in the NFC will be determined that week for that moment. Okay, the winner of that becomes the number 1 seed. I think the number 2 game, Seattle at the Rams, because Seattle's trying to maintain pace with San Francisco or become the number 1 team in the NFC West, and the Rams have to have it if they have any designs on making the playoffs. The number 3 game, Baltimore at Buffalo. Buffalo's announced its presence, that big win on Thanksgiving Day over Dallas, but Baltimore's the hottest team, the best team.
There goes Mark Ingram, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, 67 yards, as the Ravens push further out in front. They've done a good job of holding him down in the first half, but he explodes for a big one right there.
Yeah, I've got an image in my head of him being surrounded by a bunch of people, really, with ropes and other things trying to keep him locked in. But eventually they got tired too. And just as you noted, he broke out.
And it's a guy that usually you can only keep down for so long. Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Back to the workhorse today. It's Gore. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down. Defensively, they were in the 3-4. Solid run up the middle. What made it successful?
Well, what you have to do is control the nose guard, but sometimes you don't do it by blocking him. You do it by influencing him. Get him moving to one side or the other and hit him back on the opposite.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Allen now from the gun, he'll throw. Open man, here's Foster. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Allen now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They run. It's Gore. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. From just shy of midfield, Allen is going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Bills on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Throwing now is Allen, and that is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Double time.
They'll run it with Gore. And he's able to get the 1st before he's taken down at the 36. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Okay, you and I are sitting up here getting ready to analyze whether they should go for it or not. Did you see the quarterback just point to the sideline and say, everybody back, I've got this call?
Well, you knew this side of the field, they're in plus territory, 4th and 1. He wasn't coming off the field.
No, he wasn't coming off the field, and he wasn't letting the offense go with him at all. He said, we're staying out here, and we're picking this one up. That's some leadership right there. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. From the 31, Allen. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Give him 3 on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Come on, boys. You better be ready.
Allen going to go on 4th down. He gets it to Brown, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Hey, look, Eddie! Let's go back to 48 right now. Let's go. Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the touch.
Now Allen. He'll try and run it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Allen. That's caught by Brown for a Bills touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Bills get a bit closer.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put it into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
It worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Here's Allen to throw it. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Key to tight end.
A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back at New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Here's Sam Cook now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. This will be caught by Brown. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo 1st down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Allen now on 1st down. And he's going to keep it here. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target, and now it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. So they're going for it, and here's Allen. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a 1st down. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Now Allen. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. On first down, Ingram. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Quick throw taken in by Snead. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
On 3rd down, Mark Ingram. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Buffalo.